Lob it to Ryan Perez in the paint off a couple of screens.
Esquivel to Garcia. Off the deflection. Los Fresnos comes back and wins. Now Santa Maria will put up a three. Bang! Santa Maria.
There's Warner. Here comes a headed jam. Counted for two. Field. Adios! And the Falcons win on a walk-off. And it's saved. What a game.
Smacked to the left. That is gone.
Lob for Perez. That's my play. Off the backboard. Count it. And a win. And a win. Ryan Perez wins the game for the Santa Rosa Warriors, and they go. Pleasant good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another broadcast here on Rio Sports Live. As today we're coming to you from Corpus Christi, Texas. We're at Miras Sports and More in Corpus Christi, Texas. We're going to talk a little baseball and softball with you today. Got some coaches that are going to be here, some special guests as well, as everything is gearing up for the Miras Sports Classic. That means baseball and softball galore from Thursday through Saturday. And some of the better teams around the area, some teams from outside the area, will all converge here to play at the Miras Sports Classic. Ruben Rodriguez is with me on my right-hand side, and he's been putting notes together. He's got about 10 pages worth of notes, and that was just on the ride up here. And then compile that with all the knowledge. He's been covering all the baseball throughout our early broadcasts here in the spring, and we're ready, and this should be a great couple of days of baseball and softball. Let's talk baseball first. It's going to be a great matchup here at the Miras Sports Classic.
Joe, first off, baseball season full swing. In the words of Chuck Morgan, it's baseball time in Texas. I'm more excited than anyone here probably in this building. Again, as we have the Miras Sports Classic, I like to call it the Big Bash on the Bay. Some of the, of course, Corpus Christi, the biggest hotbed for Texas high school baseball, the whole Coastal Bend region. So I'm just excited to break down. I just can't wait to break down this tournament.
Yeah, it's just each pool contains games within that pool that it's like, man, if you had to circle a game, that would be one you'd want to watch, and it's going to be lined up. And then eventually we'll get to the championship games, everyone playing for the right to play on Whataburger Field on Saturday. We got a special guest that's going to be presenting a check as well to the Coaches Association. Jam-packed. We're here for 2 hours. It's going to fly by with the coaches we have lined up. If everyone shows up here, we won't get in the questions we want, but we'll get as many as we can. We'll be back with this after this break. We're at Miras Sports and More in Corpus Christi. This is the Rio Sports Live Coaches Show, live from Corpus.
Was helping out the community, and so I did meet with Ms. Castillo. She made it very easy, very friendly, and she walked me every step of the way. I couldn't have done it without their help.
There is a feeling you get when you walk onto a campus.
A sense of love, compassion, and dedication.
An environment that inspires each of our HCISD family members
to do their best and to be their best.
We ground our education on strong character, and together, we will always persist towards the future.
We are a district of choice.
A district of innovation.
And a district of excellence.
We are HCISD.
Back here on Rio Sports Live as we're at Miras Sports and More in Corpus Christi talking about the Miras Classic. Like I said, we got some special presentations coming up. Alan Samuels is going to be delivering Alan Samuels Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram here in the house with a special presentation to the Coaches Association. We'll be back with that right after this on Rio Sports Live.
If you want to get in the game, come to Miras Sports and More. Basketball gloves and uniforms too, customized for you. Your family tradition, from generation to generation. From Pee Wee to the MLBs, you can count on us. Your hometown sporting goods store since '76. Miras Sports and More, where kids get cool stuff.
LEAD has relationships with multiple industry leaders. Whether you're looking for project-based work or long-term employment, you decide. Our industry-skilled jobs include industrial, marine industries, oil and gas, commercial construction, and renewable energy. We offer work close to home, so you can spend more time with those you love. Lead Staffing, putting people to work and changing lives daily.
Commercial. Back here at Miras Sports Commercial, running there, and we right back here with you, a special presentation here. Joining me is Alan Garcia, Gil Molina, and Dan Gonzalez with Alan Samuels Chrysler, and a big presentation here. We'll raise this check up a little bit, and you'll see it's a big one. It's going to the Miras Sports Classic, and again, it's part of the Coaches Association receiving this check. We'll hand a microphone over there. Who wants to be the guy that wants to talk? Well, this is live, folks. Well, we'll take it first. Alex, run with it, if you will. Present your check, sir.
We want to present this check to the Corpus Christi Coaches Association to help out with the Miras Classic Tournament. We want to basically get as involved as possible with the youth athletics and do everything we can to help the coaches of the Coastal Bend.
Coach, any words?
We thank you, Alan Samuel. It's greatly appreciated. We always, we want to raise as much money so we can give our scholarships. So it's greatly appreciated.
Yes, sir. I say it during our broadcast all of the time that what we do on Real Sports Live, we don't charge schools to broadcast the game. We don't charge fans to watch it. Doesn't mean it's free to do because the backing comes from where we receive our backing. And I know checks like this is a big factor in assisting these guys. And the Coaches Association across the way, regardless of where we're at, are always contributing back with scholarships. And I know this check is very helpful. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll talk some baseball and softball after this. We're at Miras Sports and More in Corpus on Real Sports Live.
Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. Memories made all day. Live music and great food round out your visit. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
Back here at Miras Sports and More in Corpus Christi, we are live as we are breaking down the Miras Sports Classic. And I said we've got some coaches lined up. They're already standing off to the sideline. We've got an on-deck bench over here, but no one's on that. Everyone's kind of standing up, waiting to go. Ruben, let's break this baseball down and start with whichever pool you want. But either way, you're going to find some good baseball that's going to be played here in the next couple of days.
I said it before our first break. Corpus Christi, the Coastal Bend, the hotbed for Texas high school baseball. To break down Pool A, we have Corpus Christi Carroll out of 29-5-8, led by David Marcello. Coming off that loss to Gregory Portland in the regional quarterfinal, expecting to come out strong swinging to the district calendar. Already got a big win against GP 8-1 last night, so that's kind of a way to return the favor. Pool 2, they're faced off against district rival Corpus Christi King out of 29-5-8, led by head coach Romero Barrera. Again, they did not qualify to the postseason last year, but they expect them to come out. It's always a heated time, and guess what? They're facing off in that first matchup of Pool A, so it's a little preview to district. We'll see. We have Burleson Centennial all the way out of Burleson, Texas, up in the north there, the DFW area, in District 8-5A, led by head coach Art Senato, coming off every round loss to Birdville. We talk down here to Pool B, another 29-5A Moody Trojans, led by head coach Joe Curiel, coming off a not so great start to 2022's district season, getting that nail-biter win. A game that started at 9:30 against Corpus Christi Ray. I feel like we're watching West Coast baseball. Loretto United South out of 36A, the district champs, led by David Madrigal, who lost against Edinburgh Bell in the area round, already looking to kick off right again. They're the 36A district champs, so expecting to come out swinging in this tournament, show why they're the defending district champs. Taking on 29-6A out of the Alamo City, San Antonio Stevens, the Falcons, led by Preston Rogers, looking to get something going after a loss to La Jolla in the area round. Already started off on the right foot in district 2-0. So that's one way to start off 2022, right? Then the Miller Buccaneers, 26-4A, led by head coach Wade McDaniel. coming off a not-so-great start in 2022, but then, of course, missed it by one game in the 5th seed in the playoffs 2021. Pool C, Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial, the Eagles, led by head coach Lee Yeager, is off to the side.
Go ahead and tell him he's off to a not-so-great start. No, go ahead. Fire away.
No, they're actually on the right foot here. They're 5-1 overall, 1-0 in district play. Defeated Victoria West to get a district win, 9-4. Congratulations, coach. Again, also coming off a great run. Finished off 13-3 in district last year. Again, lost to Dripping Springs in the regional semifinals. So, again, baseball big across the state of Texas. So, the higher you up, the more harder it gets. Again, congratulations to Coach Lee Yeager. Again, 32-6A, 2 teams from the Rio Grande Valley, and they say, why not put them in the same district? A potential bi-district preview. Los Fresnos Falcons, led by René Morales, coming off that historic playoff run in the regional final of Smithson Valley. Off to the right foot, 5-1 overall. They're taking on PSG North, the Raiders, out of 31-6A, led by René Sosa. 21 record, 13-9. Again, they same as Miller. They missed it by one game in the postseason, but they're off to a hot start, 2-1 overall. They kicked off district play last night with a win as well. 29-6A, San Antonio Harlan. District rival San Antonio Stevens in Pool B. They're in Pool C, led by Jason Fox. 2021 record, 16-6 overall, 10-6 in district. Already 1-1 district play, and they lost to Stevens last night. So, and they're being put in the same tournament, but different pools. Again, they lost to United South, who's also in this tournament in Pool B in the bi-district round. Last but not least, Pool D, we got the Ray Texans, led by Orlando Ruiz, who are 30-8 overall, 2021, 12-4, the number 2 seed in District 29-5A. Again, coming off a big win against Moody, 9-8 in a late start. They lost to Corpus Christi Vets in the regional quarterfinals. How about a little hometown matchup that deep in the postseason? Always fun. It brings the whole community together. Cedar Park Timberwolves out of the Austin area, 25-5A, led by head coach Landy Williams in Pool D. Coming off a regional quarterfinal loss to Leander Rouse. And Leander Rouse is a prestigious baseball program in the state of Texas. Del Rio Rams out of 36A, the number 3 team in Pool D, led by head coach Nick Menendez, coming off that not playoff run here. They started off with a 2-2 overall record and looked to get some big wins in their non-district campaign. Last but not least, out of 31-4A, the Alice Coyotes, led by Nick Alvaro, also had that great run in the postseason, suffering that loss in round 3 to Tolosa Midway. Not having the best start they want, 0-4, but I think they can turn that around with the power they have.
There it is. There's your rundown of just the teams that are involved in this. And again, fans, if you're just now taking a look at your teams and listening to some records and things like that, here's what happens in these early season games. You got coaches that are, in some cases, lined up with district games on the early part of the week, and then they got a tournament to play later in the week, and they got to figure out where the pitchers are going to pitch, who am I going to throw, when am I going to throw my best arms, when I'm going to take a look at some arms that I want to see that may be capable of helping us later on. So records, I could ask any coach in this building that walks through here. They're not really concerned too much about the one loss as a factor of, how's my chemistry doing? How's my pitching going to hold up? Will I have the right pitchers in position to play those district games and get those wins to position myself for playoffs? So there's a lot of strategy going on. And in the Miras Sports Classic, when they get this many quality teams together, again, the competitive start for the coaches, oh, yeah, they're going to want to win. They're going to want to play on Whataburger Field and win the whole thing. But they also want to get a real good look at what their team does against quality competition that very well may be in the postseason later on. And in some cases, you may cross paths with them when the game means win, season continues, lose, season over. We'll take a break. We'll have our first coach after this. This is Rio Sports Live from Miras Sports and more in Corpus Christi.
Uniforms, etc., you're going to find the opportunity to purchase the best high-quality scrubs. Soon after I learned about how the EDC was helping out the community, and so I did meet with Ms. Castillo. She made it very easy, very friendly, and she walked me every step of the way. I couldn't have done it without their help.
We are the Roy Taylor High School cheerleaders, and you're watching Real Sports Live!
There is a feeling you get when you walk onto a campus.
A sense of love, compassion, and dedication.
An environment that inspires each of our HCISD family members
to do their best and to be their best.
We ground our education on strong character, and together, we will always persist towards the future.
We are a district of choice.
A district of innovation,
and a district of excellence.
We are HCISD.
I'll roll.
All right, welcome back here to the Miras Sports Classic. Still previewing the Miras Sports Classic baseball and softball bash here on the Bay, and I'm here with head coach Lee Yeager from Corpus Christi Veterans. Coach, welcome to the show. How's your day going so far?
Appreciate it, man. Going well, man. Glad to come out here and talk a little baseball. It's always fun. So, yeah, I can't wait to get going.
Of course, we just talked about the pools. They got the Power Five. I like to call them the Fabulous Five of Corpus: Carroll, King, Vets, Ray, and Moody. All district rivals. Yeah. So you guys know each other very well, and you're kicking things off in Pool C again. First of all, Coach, great run last season in the postseason, suffering the loss to Dripping Springs in the regional semifinal. What was just some key takeaway, big recaps from last season?
Well, we had a really good team last year, and we, obviously when you go to the regional semifinals, that's a good year for you. And we lost 3-2, or was it 5-4? I think we lost by 1 run to Dripping Springs, and had a chance to win that game late, and we didn't. But we got a bunch of new faces this year, and we got a few returning faces, so we feel good about where we're at. But right now we're just trying to find that chemistry and find the right guys, put the guys in the right spots, and we're playing upwards to maybe 19, 20 kids right now and on the weekend. So we're just trying to find the right mix to get ourselves to win some district games, and then obviously these pool games are fun because you play really good people.
Now, Coach, it's the case for every team who goes a deep run in the postseason. When you come back in the next season, for example, 2022, it's like a little bit of unfinished business for y'all. Could have had 110. You guys missed it by a run to Dripping Springs, but again, still a great season for y'all. So what was just, besides one of the key takeaways, one major lesson y'all learned in 2021?
Well, you got to play all 42 outs as hard as you can. I mean, we had a big, exciting series against Ray, which is one of our district opponents, and they're really good this year. And we ended up winning the game on a grand slam in the top of the 7th when we were down. So, you got to play hard. And the biggest thing right now is just, understanding that what it takes and how good you have to be to get to that level. And that's what we're trying to teach our guys right now. There's a lot of levels to this game, and we want to play at that highest level. So that's what we're trying to work on our guys with right now.
Yeah, it's the beauty of these tournaments. Can you have a healthy mix from talent from all over the state of Texas? Again, we got teams from San Antonio, North Texas, the Austin area, just to give you a taste. And Cedar Park, eventually you can face them on down the road. They're a 5A.
Right.
So it gives you a quick taste on what to throw out here. So, again, now here we are, 2022, obviously 2021, and finished business for y'all in the regional semifinal. But how do you feel it's going for you? You're off to a hot start right now. 5-1 overall, 1-0 in district play. Getting congrats on that big win against Victoria West, 9-4. So how do you feel 2022 started off for y'all in a sense?
Well, it started off good. Like you said, when you win those district games, that's really what the key is. And we actually played another district game on Monday. We beat last week we beat King in our first district game, and then we got our second district game against West. So we ended up winning 9-4. Actually, East is who we played. Victoria East, and we won 9-4 on that one. So we're 2-0 in district right now, and that's really the key. And like I said, these tournament games are really just kind of overblown scrimmages for us. I mean, we really do want to try to play a lot of kids and try to get the right kids in the right spots. But with these tournaments, you got to play your best guys a lot too, because there's too many good teams in this tournament. So we got to be ready to go.
Yeah, Coach, again, 29-5A, in my opinion, I think the most competitive district in the state of Texas for baseball. Again, you have the Power 5. And then, so, again, last season went good for y'all, but, again, it's a very competitive district. Look at Moody. They went 7th seed, and then they missed the postseason. That's hard. And it's Moody, a state-ranked team. Yeah. It's not every day, every year you say that, Moody didn't make the postseason. Yeah. But, again, you're in that conference, that district with all the heavy hitters. How do you feel these tournaments have been preparing y'all, these scrimmages, for the hard road ahead?
Well, it is a hard road. I mean, you've got Ray in there, who's got a lot of guys back from last year. Moody's a much better team this year. They're loaded with seniors. You got Flower Bluff, who's not in this tournament. That's really good. So there's just a lot of good teams. Carroll is another one that's got some seniors on their team, and they got some experience. And so our district is just murderer's row. You got to really play every night to win games in our district, but these tournaments, again, they give us a chance to play guys in some games that don't mean quite as much as those district games. So we think that the tournaments are going to prepare us to play really well in our district. And, you never know. You might find a guy that can throw a little bit that might give you some innings in district play. So, we've got our 2 guys that we kind of hold out of the tournament so they can throw in those district games. And then we've got a couple other guys that we think we can count on that can maybe win us some games in these tournaments.
Now, the beauty also of these tournaments, you get a chance to throw out. Again, there's a chance he might face off against Ray, Carroll, or CC Moody, at Waterburger Field. So, again, this gives you an idea on what they're throwing out to the table and also an idea what you can throw out to the table. Again, you said earlier you're running 19-20 on your varsity squad so far. So, how do you feel this is preparing them, trying to sense, find the cream of the crop?
Yeah, you want to play good people, and that's really how you get better. And so these tournaments, I mean, we played in Laredo last weekend. We played some pretty good teams. We ended up playing Edinburgh Vela, PSJ North, who we're going to play again in our tournament. Those guys are pretty good. So, when you play good people, it just kind of shows you what you need to work on and where your weaknesses are, and they'll expose you if you're not good. So that's what we're hoping when we play these good teams, is they expose us and show us some things we need to work on, and then we got to go back to practice and get a little better.
Yeah, so again, you guys were at the Border Olympics last weekend in Laredo, and there was a lot of heavy hitters. I know Harlingen, the 32-6A district champ, they got a big win against San Antonio Clemens. They got a reality check. They got beat bad by a district potential rival, Edinburgh Vela and Eagle Pass, and they went 1-3 in that tournament. So it kind of those tournaments can either make you feel good, or they can humble you in a sense and tell you, hey, you got to work on this, step back a bit.
No
now,
doubt.
Looking ahead to the 2022 district, obviously you guys are already on the right foot, 2-0 district, but you still have to take on teams like Flower Bluff, Moody, Carroll, Ray, King. What are just some odds, expectations as we head now towards the district calendar?
Well, Ray's going to be one of the top teams in our district just because of the guys that they have coming back. They're probably the front runner in the district right now. And then, but they played Moody last night and they beat them 9-8. So, that just kind of shows you the depth of our district. Moody's going to be really good. I think Carroll's going to be really good. They've got some guys coming back that are good. So, I think I think on any given night it could be anybody could beat anybody. So that's just why you got to play in this district, and you got to bring your A game every night. But it's going to be tough. I mean, like I said, Ray, Carroll, and Moody have shown that they're pretty good, and all those other guys are pretty good too. So we'll just have to try to just be good when it's time to be good.
Now, my final question, you did say you have a lot of returning starters from last year's squad. You got guys like Xavier Bettis, Jake Martinez, Tanner Johnson, Nick Reyes. Who do you feel has emerged as the key leader for this Veterans Mortal Eagle squad?
Well, I think Xavier's obviously our guy, but Tanner Johnson's thrown really well for us in some of the district games, and he's really looked good and sharp, so we got to keep him focused and locked in. And obviously Nick Reyes signed with UTSA, and he was a guy that got better as the year went on last year, so we felt good about his ability to come in and play really well early this year. But I think Tanner and Xavier are going to be the guys we count heavily on the mound. So those two guys got to be really good for us. But we're gonna put a lot on their plate, and hopefully they can get the job done for us.
Awesome, Coach Lee Yeager, Corpus Christi Veterans coach. Good luck this tournament. Good luck the rest of the way through, and thank you for having me on the show.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Be back, guys. Real Sports Live.
If you want to get in the game, come to Miras Sports and more. Basketball gloves and uniforms too, customized for you. Your family tradition, from generation to generation. From Pee Wee to the MLBs, you can count on us. Your hometown sporting goods store since '76. Miras Sports and more, where kids get cool stuff.
And more here in Corpus Christi, back here at Miras Sports and More. One of our advertisers here on Real Sports Live. We switched from baseball to softball because, yes, the Miras Sports Classic involves baseball and softball. Coach Salinas with CC Veterans. And, Coach, first of all, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
All right, let's talk about this Miras Sports Classic. And first of all, we were talking off camera. Let's talk about, first of all, what you guys did to change it up to make sure you get teams here.
Yeah, so, in the past we've always done, 55-minute games. It's been tough just kind of finding the ways to strategize to how we're going to get those games in and how we're going to do it. But, we've been losing teams, good teams from all over because they want to play games. And that's what we want to do. We want to play as many games as we can. So we just looked at it and said, hey, a lot of people are doing 6 full games. Let's play 6 full games. And Coach Carpenter was able to do it this year. And so I think it's going to be really good. I think it's going to help us out a lot.
We'll get into the tournament itself, but let's talk a little bit about your season. First of all, from the way it ended last year, what was the approach of your girls getting ready for this year? Because success means they want more. So talk about from last year to this year getting started.
Yeah, so we've had some struggles just kind of getting things going. We've got really good athletes, we got some really good players. It was just the team chemistry part was the tough part, getting together. But we just said we've got to come in here and change some things. We talked about it at our last game last year. We said we got to come in here and do some things that are different. And so my coaching staff and I got together and we just started doing some different things with our teams, and it seems like it's working. Our girls are doing great right now, and we're just going to keep going. We go one game at a time.
And of course, beginning this year, right out of the gate, first of all, you're at full strength because you're not dealing with some basketball players that were before. Teams have had that. You've had to deal with that as a coach. So you're full strength. How did that help you as far as getting into? It's not ease in, it's jump in. Season's here.
Yeah, you're in right away. And I think that helps. We've got some really good athletes that come out, and I know that, we don't have many that share basketball. So that helps too. We're able to get in there and be able to start things right away and start our practices right away and get going. So coming out full strength, it's been helping us.
Do your girls take an approach that it's not necessarily backs against the wall, but no one's going to take you lightly? Do your girls take a different approach to each game? Because I know you're playing some quality competition, but everyone considers you guys, the quality competition. How does that affect your approach to getting games ready?
Yeah, well, I think what helps this year is that we're pretty young. So I think their mindset is more like, let's just play. They don't think about who we playing, why are we playing, what are we doing, what did we do last year. We've got 6 freshmen this year, and most of them start. So they just, when you get freshmen in, they're hungry and they just want to play. So I think what helps the most is they don't even think about it. They just want to play.
And you've got lots of games. You're going to get 6 guaranteed games in this next 3 days. That's 2 a day. Tuleso Midway, Harlingen South, Flower Bluff, Corpus Christi Miller, Westlake, West Oso, Medina Valley, Corpus Christi Carroll, King, London, Calhoun, Moody, John Paul, Senton, CC Veterans, Ray, and Bishop, all here. Heavy hitters. You don't get to play them all, but let's talk about the 6 you do get to play.
Yeah, and when you call them heavy hitters, the 6 we're going to play, they're heavy hitters. We've got Bishop that you just saw him play last night. I was just finishing watching that game, and Martinez is a great pitcher. We know that. Everybody knows that, and we get to face her. We get to face Medina Valley. We get to face Sinton, which is very tough this year as well. So we've got some tough ones that they're putting us up against, and I think that's going to help us. We want to see the best around to get us ready for district. So
when you play that many games in just the 3 days, how much does it help that Miras Sports puts it together here? You get to be home and get those games. Does that help?
Oh, it helps. I mean, we love it. We love that this is around every year. The kids love it. The community loves it. And, of course, our school, because we get to host them at our site. So it kind of gets our team feeling like we're at home. We kind of run in things for a little bit. And and plus we get all those teams in and we get to just play. And that's our main goal. We want to see some good teams.
Talk to Coach on the baseball side because they literally are trying to save some arms when they get to these tournaments, knowing they got some district games right around the corner. They're also wanting to see what players do. With a young team, how do you approach 6 games in 3 days? Is it chemistry or still looking for players? Combination of both.
It's a combination of both. We, of course, that chemistry, and I think we've kind of getting that down right now with the teams we've had to face already at this point. But we're also able to see some girls in different situations, see how they handle the pressure, see how they handle these good pitchers, and I think that's going to get us ready for district when we able to see who can handle it.
Another thing that I've been noticing, we've been covering this long enough, you see a lot of trends. The trend used to be get that quality ace number 1 pitcher and put her in the circle and let her go. Now you're seeing more and more coaches that are actually getting to almost to that closer mentality of developing someone that can come in, get me 6 outs, and I'll get you to the point where you can win the game. Talk about how that's changed.
Yeah, no, it's changed. It used to be you have 1 pitcher, and that's who you go with all season. And it was like that back a few years ago, and now you're getting pitchers. You get a couple of pitchers. And I remember I got my first year, I was like, man, I have 3 pitchers. What do I do? So now it's gotten to where now we can change speeds, If a team we're facing is a good drop ball team that can hit that drop ball really well, and then I got another girl on the bench that can throw that rise ball really well and mix them up. So yeah, we've kind of got into that little finish it. Let's get those last 3 outs, put somebody else in. So yeah, it's been helpful.
So and it also helps keep your pitchers on cue, because before you were almost in a position as a pitcher of waiting for something to go wrong for the ace before you even had a chance to get in the circle. Now pitchers approach each game, and I may be called to pitch right now.
Exactly. We have them, be ready at any time. So every inning you go throw, because you never know. And it may not necessarily be that the ace pitcher is doing something wrong. It may just be, hey, you're doing a great job, but let's change it up and see what we can do with the offense.
Matchup changes. So therefore, when you're talking to your hitters, you have to approach that you're not going to possibly see the same pitcher. You may see 3 before this game's over. Do you talk to them about that too?
Yeah, just making those adjustments. We for the most part, everybody around here knows each other. These girls play all the time, so they know all these players and all these pitchers. So they know right away who's going to pitch, and so and so's warming up already. So they mentally get themselves ready that they need to be ready for anybody.
And the other thing I've talked to players about and coaches about is that I would talk about getting into the postseason, and suddenly you're playing teams from out of town, and players are like, oh yeah, I played her 4 times last summer. And so these girls not only know each other, they know each other and what's waiting out there, and they do their homework, and they play against these girls year round.
No, we go out of town, and the girls are like, yeah, so-and-so plays, we play, and they're from out of town. I mean, these girls, like I said, it's a small circle, and they know each other. They know everybody's strengths. They know who's who, and they know what they can hit and what they can't. So I think that helps as well. But these girls know each other pretty well.
We're a pretty good stretch away from postseason, but it has to help you as a coach when you can talk to a player and say, okay, what does she do?
Yeah.
And you get that little extra help.
Yeah, and I think it helps when our pitchers, they come and tell us, they talk to my pitching coaches and say, hey, we're going to face so-and-so. We know what she can hit, what she can't hit. Don't throw this. Make sure you stay away from this pitch. So it helps. It helps us also on that side.
Just in case you're not on our broadcast tomorrow, we've got one crew that's going to be camping out at Cabinus. Are you at Cabinus?
I'm at Vets all day.
Vets, okay. So tell me about who you're playing in your first 2 games.
Yeah, so the first one we face is Toloso Midway, another strong contender. They've got some really good players on that side. We scrimmaged them, and they're not, they're a really good team. And then our second game is against Sinton. I've seen them play a couple times, and they're pretty good too. They've got some really good hitters. They've got some good pitching, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good for us. We want to face something like that.
Busy 3 days. Let's hope the weather's terrific. I think it's going to be.
Yes.
Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for the visit. We'll be back with more after this from Miras Sports and More on Real Sports Live.
Lead has relationships with multiple industry leaders. Whether you're looking for project-based work or long-term employment, you decide. Our industry-skilled jobs include industrial, marine industries, oil and gas, commercial construction, and renewable energy. We offer work close to home, so you can spend more time with those you love. Lead Staffing, putting people to work and changing lives daily.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. Memories made all day. Live music and great food round out your visit. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
Uniforms, etc., you're gonna find the opportunity to purchase the best high quality scrubs. Soon after I learned about how the EDC was helping out the community, and so I did meet with Ms. Castillo. She made it very easy, very friendly, and she walked me every step of the way. I couldn't have done it without their help.
There is a feeling you get when you walk onto a campus.
A sense of love, compassion, and dedication.
An environment that inspires each of our HCISD family members
to do their best and to be their best.
We ground our education on strong character, and together, we will always persist towards the future.
We are a district of choice.
A district of innovation.
And a district of excellence.
We are HCISD.
Back here on Real Sports Live, as we're kind of in between guests, coaches are over on the sidelines talking. We've got our guest coming as well from Miras here. That's going to be talking a little bit about Miras and about the classic baseball and softball. Ruben, I'm going to visit with you just a little bit more. As you were breaking things down, we're going to have Corpus Christi and Coastal Bend coaches here in our show. But let's talk about on the baseball side. It's only a couple. But if you're going to bring a couple of teams from the Rio Grande Valley, they're bringing some pretty good ones that's going to be here.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. You got Los Fresnos, again, of course. 956 baseball fans or South Texas baseball fans, you already heard of Los Fresnos. You didn't hear about them last year. You know about them now. Coming off that regional final appearance at Smithson Valley, they were just one game away from the state Final Four in Round Rock, and not the first team to go that far. We saw Harlingen South in 2007 accomplish that feat, go to the state Final Four. But let's talk about Los Fresnos first. Getting out of 32-6, they finished off as a number 2 seed. They would have gone undefeated, but their only 2 losses were to powerhouse Harlingen. And that's the thing. They were the only team who had Harlingen on the ropes all season long. It was either going to be a 6-5 game or a 5-4 game, you can call it. But Harlingen just came up at the last second off walk-off wins. And then for Los Fresnos to do that, and then, again, a strong performance. They actually played at the Port Isabel tournament. They won it all, so that's just a big way to start. And then why not test yourself coming to the Miras Classic? And you have a mix of the Alamo City, a mix of the Coastal Bend, and North Texas. Again, Coach Renan Morales doing an outstanding job. And
you got to see that Los Fresnos team play in a game this week. And, talk to me about what they bring back from last year. Were you expecting them to be that good again this year?
Oh, there was a lot of returning pieces. One of those key pieces, Matthew Padilla. Last year we had Victor Loa, who's now playing baseball at Texas State. And a lot of questions, concerns, comments were going into the season was Padilla be able to carry the torch of Loa. And he proved it, no doubt about it. They lost to Palmview. They lost their undefeated streak. It was about unbeaten. Palmview winning that one 5-2. But Palmview scored first. But to have a team like Palmview with heavy hitters to come at you and get bases loaded in your situation, you had Matthew Padilla, who threw 14 strikeouts in that matchup and kept Palmview scoreless until the top of the 8th inning. And from the plate, he did it as well. He went 3 for 4 from the plate, so definitely he can carry the torch. I think all those doubt questions have already gone down the drain with him.
And fans that were not accustomed to seeing or hearing about those two teams, they don't exactly like each other. They're a rival.
Oh no, they don't, Joe. So again, Los Fresnos, they're both the 2 6As. Los Fresnos out of 32 and PSJ North out of 31. So they're going to face off in pool play in Pool C. So it's a potential treat, a little by-district preview here again. PSJ North, let's talk about them. They were just 1 game shy. They finished off as the number 5 seed. Didn't make the postseason, but they definitely did some damage. Again, right now they're currently 2-1 overall. They had competition. They played in a tournament, and they did some damage. They placed off against heavy hitters too, but I think this is going to be a little preview for all you Valley baseball fans. Again, these are the only 2 Valley basketball teams in this tournament, and what a way to stick them in together. So it's like putting the kids who don't like each other the most and put them in the same room, trying to get them to get along. But all I know, it's going to be a nice treat here. Again, we have the mix of the 3-6-1, the 2-10, and the 9-5-6 all in one tournament. It's awesome.
Good stuff. We got coaches that are showing up. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll have our next guest from Miras Sports and more after this.
Come to Miras Sports and more. Basketball gloves and uniforms too, customized for you. Your family tradition, from generation to generation. From Pee Wee to the MLBs, you can count on us. Your hometown sporting goods store since '76. Miras Sports and more, where kids
has relationships with multiple industry leaders. Whether you're looking for project-based work or long-term employment, you decide. Our industry-skilled jobs include industrial, marine industries, oil and gas, commercial construction, and renewable energy. We offer work close to home, so you can spend more time with those you love. Lead Staffing, putting people to work and changing lives daily.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. Memories made all day. Live music and great food round out your visit. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
Back here to Real Sports Live, the Miras preview show. Again, the Myra Baseball Softball Classic going on this weekend. And huge thank you to Myra Sports and More for hosting us here at this nice place. Feel like a kid in the candy store, the baseball kid in me. Here with another powerhouse. Again, we have the Power 5 from the Coastal Bend, 29-5A. Hey, Texans, Orlando Reeves, welcome to the show.
How you doing, sir? Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Now, obviously, you guys did a great run.
Yes, sir.
Last season, 12-4 in district, and you lost to rival CC Vets. So what a way to come full circle in a sense. But again, still successful season, but in a sense, unfinished business to go down. So what are just some key takeaways from 2021?
You know, last year we were kind of young. You know, we had a lot of sophomores and freshmen, so that was a big takeaway for this coming year. You know, more experience, more stronger, faster. So we're hoping to make a run this year.
And then you certainly are making a big run. Again, 8-0 right now on the season. And talk about kicking off against a powerhouse team in Moody.
Yeah.
What was a 9:30 start?
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Because I was calling a game in Harlingen South, or Harlingen High. Yeah. And it was like in the top half of the 7th inning, and I get a notification through Game Changer on the scoring updates again. First pitch between Moody and what? Like what? Like, and I was like, so anyways.
That's the second game always. You know, the second game of district. You know, it's tough because you're there waiting and waiting for the first game to finish, which is a 5:30 start time. So you're just waiting for that second game. But you know, fortunately, we were on the winning side. A lot of momentum changes on that game last night.
Was your first district win collect 1-0?
Yes.
1-0 in the season again.
Yes, sir.
A team like Ray and Moody, excuse me, they're a state ranked. They're a state powerhouse again. Obviously, the 3-6-1 always be a big hotbed for Texas high school baseball, and to get a big win against them 9-8, that certainly shows the firepower of the Ray Texans there. And now, Coach, going back to 2020, you had some big takeaways. What was just one major lesson learned down the road?
Major lesson was probably, you know, pitching. Pitching had a, you know, we were kind of down last year. We had 1 and 2. We kind of lost track of 3 and 4. So this year we put everybody pitching, and hopefully, you know, we have 3, 4, and 5 up there.
Now that's the beauty of also these tournaments here. Again,
yes,
you have the tryouts going on in January, and then now you have the scrimmages, and then this is like a scrimmage a big old scrimmage in a sense here. But again,
yes, sir.
Big teams in this tournament, and you're pairing off with Cedar Park out of 5A, so it's a potential playoff preview we can face off. They went pretty far. They lost to Leander Rouse. Again, Leander Rouse, a tough team, but just talk us about how this preseason has gone for y'all so far.
Oh, it's gone awesome. You know, when you're on the winning side, it's always awesome. You know, we played a Del Rio 6A team. We played Edinburgh North. I believe it's 6A. I'm not sure if they're 6A or 5A. We played Leander Rouse, which is the number 2 team in the state in 5A. We were fortunate to be on the winning side. So this is all preview to district coming around. And last night was a big W for Ray High School.
Yeah, again, a way to kick off district with the bang, with the big win. Now, talk us through this final run. Your thoughts on this tournament. Again, you said taking on Cedar Park, Del Rio, and Alice. You already did knock off Del Rio, and then you said, to knock off the number 2 seed, Leander Rouse in the state of Texas. That just shows you how far this Ray Texans program has come. Again, that's why they call them part of the Fabulous Five, in my opinion. But now, just talk us through your thoughts on heading into this tournament.
It's going to be tough, these 4 games, these 4 pool games. We got Del Rio, Cedar Park on Thursday, and then we got Alice and I believe San Antonio Harlan, which I'm not sure about San Antonio Harlan. They're 5A or 6A. But, you know, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough 4 games, and hopefully, you know, we get on the winning column, and hopefully we advance to Whataburger.
You guys will be playing at Carroll High School, correct, for this tournament?
First day, yes.
And, of course, it's always an honor to play at a Whataburger field again.
Oh, yeah.
AA affiliated, the Houston Astros. So you can have to say, hey, I played in the minor league field. It's fun. Now, Coach, again, you already started off district with a big win over Moody.
Yes.
Again, Coach Yeager said it's murderer's row in a sense when you have teams like Flower Bluff, Carroll, Moody, Cal, excuse me. And then, but what is your thoughts now heading towards district?
Oh, we're trying to survive, like Coach Yeager said, trying to survive the district and every W it's an awesome feeling, because it's hard to get those W's, and to start off on the right side, with the W, it's a good momentum for the next game, which is going to be Carroll.
Yeah, Carroll obviously going down to Gregory Poland. They actually got a big win against GP last night.
They did.
8-1.
Yes.
Coach Marcelo always doing a great job with his program up there. Now, Coach, obviously you said you had a lot of young talent, but now more experience going down into 2022. You have some starters such as Miguel Everett, Luis Morales, Darian Montoya. How do you feel like they've just grown so far throughout these past 2 seasons?
Yeah, they've handled adversity pretty good, with being a senior. Some of them are seniors, so they've handled adversity. They know how to win the big games. They know how to, those close games, how to handle their feelings, their emotions. So they're ready. They're ready for this year, for this district.
You also got more guys. You got Ryan Rodriguez also. You got Kevin Goss. Do apologize if I'm mispronouncing.
Yeah, it's Kevin Goss.
Kevin Goss.
Yes.
Out of all these names, who do you feel has emerged as the key leader, like the go-to guy on the team?
Well, our number one is Kevin Goss. He was a Texas Tech commit. Then he decommitted. Now he's going to HBU. And then this past summer, we have a junior, Jack Bell, a shortstop, which he committed to Arizona State. So those are all parts of the key aspects for us to, get there.
Now one more question, Coach. Again, 2022 district, which is, again, in a sense, unfinished business for y'all, losing the CC vets in the regional quarterfinals. So what's just after district? What's like just the word? Not after district, but sorry, I'm just a little too excited here. But what are just some major incorporated expectations you have for 2022?
Take one game at a time. That's our goal. Every game counts, so we're just taking one game at a time, and our goal is to make the playoffs and hopefully Round Rock.
Of course, Round Rock,
yes.
The more historic place to play Texas high school baseball. Again, Coach Poole, Ray D, you got Ray, Cedar Park, Del Rio, and Alice. Coach Orlando Reeves, the Ray Texans. Coach, thank you for your time and good luck this season.
Appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
Back with more after this.
Uniforms, etc., you're going to find the opportunity to purchase the best high-quality scrubs. Soon after I learned about how the EDC was helping out the community, and so I did meet with Ms. Castillo. She made it very easy, very friendly, and she walked me every step of the way. I couldn't have done it without their help.
Back here at Miras Sports and More in Corpus Christi, Texas. Coach Charlton's going to join me now wearing a lot of hats we were just talking about, sir. I don't even want to run down the list of who you are, but I'm telling you, he's with Ray High School, athletic director, and a busy time for you. This Miras Sports Classic is an important event.
It really is, and what it does is it showcases all the talent here in South Texas in baseball, and it's really a great opportunity, and we appreciate Miras and all the support they've given the association and everything with the officials and all that stuff. But it's exciting.
Talk about the last couple of days getting ready for this, and then is it still ramping up, or is it easing into this tournament now that it's going to start tomorrow?
Oh, we've got it down. We've got a good plan right now, and it's just excited. Make sure to get all the teams here safely and play some good baseball. It's going to be exciting because it's really exciting that there's this many great teams that are coming down this way from the Austin area and various parts across the state.
Is the draw teams wanting to return, or do you have a lineup of coaches calling you saying, I'd like to get in that next year? Where's the ceiling of this thing?
Yeah, there's not, and I think everybody tries to get into it because of the great talent that we do have down here in the Coastal Bend, because a lot of our teams are ranked year in, year out. So they want a good challenge before they get into district play, and it's a good way to see good pitching and great opportunity to see some good games.
And up and down the lineup, coaches are guaranteed to get some quality matchups. Coaches look for a lot of different things in here. How do I match up against certain teams? But other coaches are looking to see, can I play a team that I might see later in the year when postseason is rolling? That's a big draw.
It is, and you might get those teams that you play in the second, third round, possibly right now early on, and possibly see some of their pitching. Stating that it's a good time in a big tournament like this to challenge some guys, the younger guys especially, for pitching and stuff like that, and seeing how they play out.
Been with this tournament enough to have seen it change, and talk about some of the changes you've seen in this classic itself.
Well, what it's done is it just keeps expanding and growing, and it's good to see that teams across the state are trying to get in, and it's constantly it's not ever an issue where we're not have enough teams, and that's a great testament of the coaches here in the Coastal Bend, as well as the players.
Final question, well, a couple questions here. The Miller situation. Basketball team wins. Saturday's going to throw a little bit of a wrench in those that are looking at pre-printed schedules.
Right, and that's basically what it comes down to is the organization. It's really just a matter. It shouldn't affect the schedule that much, but we're excited for it. Of course, we hope Miller wins their playoff game and then plays on Saturday. And then it's just a function of us getting coaches to help, because the coaches do work these tournaments because of the scholarship money for kids, and it's important because we do spend a lot of money out for our kids and scholarships to the next level.
That's talking about the Miras Sports Classic. I told you about many hats. Now let's put the other hat on. When I talk to, as a media representative, and I'm talking to the Coaches Association, regardless of what it is, so often it's when they're, just like earlier, we were presenting a check. But so much behind the scenes never gets publicized, never gets seen, and never really gets truly understood about the importance of having association just in place to help things go on. So talk a little bit about the association and what their role is behind the scenes.
Well, basically, the Corpus Christi Coaches Association has done a great job in getting scholarships out to our athletes at all the campuses here in Corpus Christi, as well as coaches' kids throughout the year. And we've done it a number of ways, and it's just a great opportunity to give back to the coaches' families as well as the student athletes, to where they can actually help them pay for college and things, and that's where this all goes to. And it's a good way to push that, and kids going to that and trying to reach their dreams.
When the coaches get together in the association, do they also help network to understand that, hey, I've got a player that needs to get somewhere, let's see what we can do to help? Does that help as well?
I think the relationship the coaches have here in the Coastal Bend, if there's a good player at King or Moody or Ray or Vets, they're going to share, if they know a college coach, and they're going to share those kids and tell them about that. And I think that's a good way of displaying the association, and basically we all work in this together to get the guys to the next level.
And again, it's more about giving back than it is receiving on the Coaches Association, and you guys give so much. I see it. You put on an all-star classic. That's not just necessarily to go out there and throw some players out there and, hey, let's get a chance to play.
No, it's
there's a drive there. They want to be competitive. They want to win, but there's an extra drive that says one more chance for some scouts to see some players and maybe sign somebody.
And that's the truth. I mean, this is my 29th year as a coach, and I've been a baseball coach as well as a football, of course. But saying that, we all have people that we know in the collegiate level that we can help kids and advance their playing careers, and that's what it's all about, is getting them exposed to seeing the talent they do have.
Now let's talk about one last thing here before we wrap it up, and that's getting back to the Miras Sports Classic here. Talk about how many venues are actually going on here. We talked about that many pools. You get that many teams in here, you better have some places to play. So let's talk about how you mix and match that.
Well, we're sitting there. We've got pool play at all the campuses here in Corpus Christi, as well as our Cabinets baseball field out there. And it's just it's one thing that I've got to hit on is the fields and the amount of money that HCISD has put in our athletic facilities with the bond packages and stuff. We have some of the best fields in the Coastal Bend, if not the state of Texas, and that's a testimony to all all the families here that voted for those bonds, and it's a great opportunity for our athletic department and CCISD to put together a well-groomed plan to help those fields do well. And we've got turf fields and stuff like that. And there's a lot of people that come down here because of possibly rainy situations in playoffs, and they want to come down to play on our turf field, and it's big time, and it's great because we're playing at a collegiate level field every week.
And obviously, the crown jewel of this tournament is the final day, and where they get to play the final championship games.
When you play at Whataburger, it's pretty special. I've been in the Austin area for 20 years of my life, and I've coached at great baseball schools as well as football schools. And I always thought that Dell Diamond in Round Rock was one of the best parks I've ever been at because it's just got that hometown atmosphere. Well, Whataburger Field is my favorite, and I'm telling you right now, hands down. I mean, the atmosphere with the ships going by, the bridge, and just the whole scenery. By far, I believe it's probably the best field in small pro sports.
Another draw to this tournament for kids to get to play and hopefully get on that field.
Yeah, because everybody wants to be one time a pro ball player.
There you go. At least play on the field, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Coach Charleston, thanks for the visit, and good luck in the next couple of days.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Back with more after this from Miras Sports and more in Corpus on Rio Sports Live.
You get when you walk onto a campus.
A sense of love, compassion, and dedication.
An environment that inspires each of our HCISD family members
to do their best and to be their best.
We ground our education on strong character, and together, we will always persist towards the future.
We are a district of choice.
A district of innovation.
And a district of excellence.
We are HCISD.
If you wanna get in the game, come to Miras Sports and more. Basketball gloves and uniforms too, customized for you. Your family tradition, from generation to generation. From Pee Wee to the MLBs, you can count on us. Your hometown sporting goods store since '76. Miras Sports and more, where kids get cool stuff.
Back here to the Miras preview show here for the Miras Baseball and Softball Classic. Continuing coming to you from Miras Sports and more here in Corpus Christi, Texas. Joined by another member of the Fabulous Five, in my opinion, the Moody Trojans, led coach Joe Carrillo. Joe, how you doing, Coach?
How you doing, guys? Thank you guys for having us out here and just coming out here and doing this classic. It's an awesome classic, and you guys for helping out everything here for Miras and the CCISD.
Awesome, Coach. First of all, again, kicked off district last night. But talks about 2021. Unfortunately, not the season that y'all expected to have. 16-13 overall, 5-10 in district. With a powerhouse like Moody was tough for a lot of Corpus fans to understand that. But what was just one big takeaway, some key lessons learned?
Well, we had some, one-run ball games that could have been on our side, but it just like I told our guys, we fought to the end, but came up short, and that was a season where everybody was pretty much. You have to come out with your best, and we did, and we came up short. But 2021 season was of course overall record was a winning record. But you're looking into our district play. That was not the Moody Magic. But that's baseball. Baseball comes in day by day and year by year. So I think on this year note that we will have a different appearance.
Yeah, Coach, obviously, Coach Yeager said earlier, 29-5, he likes to call it Murderer's Row because he got all the powerhouses in the Valley with Carroll, Ray, Vets, King, GP, Flower Bluff. Now, again, what was just another big major, out of all those takeaways, what was just like a major lesson learned from 2021?
Well, lesson learned is you don't take anybody for granted. I mean, this game is could be cruel at many times, but the lessons learned is just, like I said, you go out there to win ball games. Our kids go out there to win ball games, and they represent Moody High School, of course, Corpus Christi Moody Magic. But it's the main thing about playing as a team, and at times you could find that out that when teams don't play together, things do fall to fall apart. So I think just lessons learned, and we learn from it. But from the youth that were there this year now, or they were juniors, now they're seniors, now different ball club.
And now 21 already in the past. 2022 now here. We've been at it since January. 3-3 overall in the season. And again, they had that loss to Ray last night to kick off district play. How do you feel 2022 was fared for you so far?
Well, we started off last week, Monday, district play. This is our second game here. So we started off with GP, winning the GP. Close ball game again, 10-7. But in this game here, 9-8, going 7 innings. And it was a battle of pitching plus timely hitting. When you get those guys on base and you get a timely hit, it's going to be a tough district. Like I said last night, it was a great ball game for both sides. It could, like I said, who was going to make the least amount of errors and who's going to get that base hit knocked to go ahead run.
Yeah, again, last night also very late start, and then it's a very chilly Tuesday night. No, it was in Harlingen. It was 47 degrees when it was all said and done.
Mm-hmm.
And then, talk us through about now your plans towards district game. A lot of these teams, Carroll the King didn't make the postseason. Carroll, Vets, and Ray all coming in from 3-4 rounds deep in the postseason. That game's they're gonna come back even stronger, like sort of unfinished business in a sense for them. You guys, it's also unfinished business. You didn't get to have the season again. A lot of people have their mouths left open. Again, a team like Moody, how can a team like Moody not make the postseason? But again, you got RSC, in my opinion, one of the most competitive districts in the state of Texas for baseball. Now, what is your expectations heading towards district play?
As our expectations this year, like I said, our goal is to get in the playoffs, and then that's our goal. Number one goal is of course, we're in our tournament play. Of course, in between those, we have 3 district ball games. So we gotta maintain our. For one, is our pitch count. We have to maximize our pitchers, minimize how many innings that we throw. As in tournament play to district play. So it's a key role where all these pitchers come in, and that's when you find that number 2 or 3, even a 4 guy coming out from the tournament play, going into the district ball games. But it's I think, like I said, it's going to roll into a nice fit for everybody here. It's tough district, like you say, the state of Texas, and someone's going to be left out.
Yeah, again, that's also you're saying about, like, it gives the idea for pitch counts, who's going to throw. It's kind of the beauty of these tournaments, because not only do you get experience against hard teams, again, you also have in your district, you have Laredo United South at a 36A. They're the defending champion in their district. San Antonio Stevens, the number 2 seed in their district, and Miller at a 4A. Gives you a sense on who you're going to play and if you guys are ready, and also a chance to kind of find the cream of the crop in your team to see who's ready and who's not, or where the puzzle pieces are going to be in a sense.
Correct, definitely. That's the puzzle that we got to find, and then like I said, we have to find out who's our 3, 4, 5 pitchers, because our guys that started last night, and of course there's a couple of guys that we fit into district play just in case we need in relief. So we have to minimize their pitch count. So you'll find a 4 or 5 starter that are pitching against these guys that coming in here, and like United South and Stevens, Miller. I don't take for granted for anybody. Anybody could be beaten any day. So we're going to go out there and compete, and we're going to put the best out there and do the best we can.
Okay, now once again, here we are in 22. We have a lot of returning stars coming in. We have Roman Rodriguez, Chris Escamilla, Aiden Gonzalez, Jonathan Everett. Who do you think has emerged? How do you think have they developed as leaders on this team?
These guys, these seniors here that are led with experience. They're leaders with experience and guiding these younger guys to just to follow the ropes, to follow the ways that Moody Magic's about. And it's just about stepping in the field, getting in there, and then like I always tell our guys, can't teach hustle. Hustle comes within, and so the guys do put that in their mind. But as a leadership, so those I got about, like I said, 7, 8 starters that have played with experience, and I think they're the main key of this team. So I think it's going to be a good turnout where these leaders are going to come. Like I told them, day in and day out. It could be you, it could be you, it could be. So don't put that pressure on yourselves. Just go out there and play the game.
Now, out of all these seniors on this Moody squad, who do you feel has like emerged as the go-to guy, like the key leader, like everyone looks up to in a sense?
Well, I mean, there's plenty. Of course, you got our catchers, the quarterback, Aiden Gonzalez. Right now, of course, with he'll merge with Chris Escamilla, but Derek Hernandez, he's a 3-year starter at second base, plus utility. He could play anywhere, but he's going to help us out on the mound. But his key bat. But there's, like I said, Roman Rodriguez came in, Marley Bernal. There's guys that I could mention all those guys. Everett as a left-hand pitcher. But like I said, these seniors and these juniors and sophomores, I got a couple freshmen that are in there that they play together and they respect one another and have that bond where it's really everybody's a leader. Just follow the lead and go, day by day.
Now, Coach, my final question here. We are in Pool B of the tournament. You guys who have that district chat from 36A, Loretto United South, San Antonio Stevens, and then Miller. How do you feel like that's going to, again, you're being put with the team that went, both teams with postseason experience. One team didn't make the playoffs, and one of those teams going on to the area round. So how do you feel that's just going to, be the final true test before district is completely, the main focus?
Yeah, the main focus, like I said, we played a great ball game last night. And as you talk about the Texans and the number 7 in the state of Texas, I think we came out a little short there. But I think, like I told the guys last night, this tournament coming up, we got to carry that on to this tournament and just go play the game. We're not playing against anybody. We're not playing against a team name. We play against the game, and we just go in there, do our best, and play the best of your ability.
Looking to show that Moody magic here at the Miras Sports Classic, correct?
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Carriado of the Moody Trojans. We'll be back with more. Coach, good luck the rest of the way through. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys.
You guys are watching Real Sports Live.
Lead has relationships with multiple industry leaders. Whether you're looking for project-based work or long-term employment, you decide. Our industry-skilled jobs include industrial, marine industries, oil and gas, commercial construction, and renewable energy. We offer work close to home, so you can spend more time with those you love. Lead Staffing, putting people to work and changing lives daily.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. Memories made all day. Live music and great food round out your visit. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
Uniforms, etc., you're going to find the opportunity to purchase the best high-quality scrubs. Soon after I learned about how the EDC was helping out the community, and so I did meet with Ms. Castillo. She made it very easy, very friendly, and she walked me every step of the way. I couldn't have done it without their help.
Real Sports Live, the Miras Sports Show. Once again, shout out to Sam Nito EDC, local sponsor from the 956. Here with another sponsor for the Miras Sports Classic, the Glove Doc, Roy Martinez. Sir, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, sir.
Now, we were talking prior before going on the air. 30-plus years of service. You've been here since 1991. Do a lot of gloves sort of surrounding Valley, the Coastal Bend. Also some few big leaguers you've done. So just talk us through some of your services you offer.
Just basic relacing, the whole glove, different colors, team colors, busted gloves, big leaguers, I've been doing them since they were kids, and they trust me, so they keep coming back, and do a lot of girls' gloves, softball, I'm doing a catcher's mitt right now, as a matter of fact, from the catcher from the Auburn University, freshman catcher, starter. And she sent me the glove to do a little modification to it, and just little things like that to make the glove easier to use. They trust the glove, But I mean, I just love doing this type of work.
Well, it's kind of hard not to trust someone who has 30-plus years of service.
That's
and
true, yeah.
Obviously, it looks like you do an outstanding job. I think I might have to come to you. I do play some slow pitch softball in the off season. It's a little busted up. I might make a trip up here now. What's like some other key things you do here as long as
I sell catcher's equipment, bats, little odds and ends here and there, whatever needs to be done, vacuuming, sweeping, whatever needs to be done. I appreciate Sandy with all my heart because, she treats me like family, and I treat her like family, and I take care of who takes care of me. So whatever she wants me to do, I do it,
Again, RSC, Glove Doc, one of the key sponsors for the Miras Sports Classic, and without a sponsor like you, we wouldn't have a great tournament like this. So any other things you'd like to say here?
Just like I said, thank you to Sandy and Henry, JJ. JJ does a lot of good things for the company here, and we're actually expanding our horizons. We're selling online to different organizations, the Yankees, colleges, different colleges all over the United States, and I think it's a great thing that they're doing here, and looking forward for the future.
Now, where are you guys located? Where can they contact you? Any contact info to get their glove prepared?
Through Miras, they just call Miras and ask for a glove doctor. And if I'm not here, they'll pass me the message, and then we'll go from there and take care of it.
So how did all this start, getting into like glove repair, equipment maintenance?
Through Sandy's dad. He was when he was here, back in the 80s. He's like, hey, there's a pile of gloves. You want them? And I was like, yeah, I'll take them. And I took them, and I fixed them, and I passed them around to some kids that needed gloves. And then people just started like coming to me, and it just took off from there. And for some reason, they think when they see me, they need a glove. I don't know why. It's been like that for years. I don't mind it, but I mean, I'm so involved now with this stuff. It's just, I don't think it's gonna stop till the day I die.
What do you think is like the most satisfying part of like when you get a busted, beaten up old glove? What do you think is just the most satisfying part of repairing that, when you get it, knowing it took a while to fix it, or just to see like the customer's face, like, hey, like my glove's back in brand new?
Well, as a matter of fact, I just had a customer. I think he lives in Dallas, and Jose Trevino sent them to me, and he tells me, man, I can't wait to get the gloves. They're in the mail right now, and he goes, man, I said, I tell you what, you're gonna want to catch with all three of them at the same time because they're all. Because he said he didn't want to catch with them because he might get hurt because they were real brittle. But I said, no, I dyed them complete, everything, brand new gloves. I mean, and he sounded real ecstatic over the phone.
Seth Trevino from the Texas Rangers, correct? Yeah, one of the key players. I'm a Rangers fan. I'm excited to see what they do, hopefully, in 2022.
I did his first glove going into the pros, and then I was doing them in high school, but I did his first glove going into the pros. It was an all-star. And he's actually a client of the All-Star Sporting Goods. That's all he uses is All-Star. And my grandson started catching when Jose was starting the pros, and that's his idol. And he keeps me in the game, my grandson, because we're just traveling around the United States playing ball. Las Vegas. We're gonna go to Las Vegas, Louisiana, Kentucky. We're heading to Houston this weekend for a big tournament. So he's got the best gloves that money can buy.
So besides Jose Trevino, any other big names, big leaguers that you've done glove work for?
Like Mike Cantu, Drake Osborne, he's with the Mets. Of course, Cantu's with the Padres. Cale Imshaw from the Kansas City Royals. And then they send me their buddies' gloves to fix, and I try to take care of as many clients as I can get, but I'll take any kids, the little leaguers, the big leaguers. It doesn't matter to me. I treat all the gloves the same. It's just that the big leaguers, you got to treat them a little bit more sensitive because, they're far away and you can't, really fix a glove over the phone. Yeah. But I love it. I just love fixing gloves. That's just.
It's like they say, if you have fun doing what you do, you won't work a day in your life.
Mm-mm.
Folks, Roy Martinez, Glove Doc here, key sponsor for the Miras Sports Classic. Again, 30-plus years of service. Does it all over the state of Texas, all over the country. Again, the Glove Doctor here. You need him, just call Miras Sports and more. Back with more after this. You're watching Real Sports Live.
Thank you.
There is a feeling you get when you walk onto a campus.
A sense of love, compassion, and dedication.
An environment that inspires each of our HCISD family members
to do their best and to be their best.
We ground our education on strong character, and together, we will always persist towards the future.
We are a district of choice.
A district of innovation.
And a district of excellence.
We are HCISD.
Back here on Real Sports Live, we are at Miras Sports and More in Corpus Christi, Texas. And we again thank the coaches that have been joining us for our broadcast here. A little sneak preview about the Classic, the 18th annual. There was the COVID year, which none of us like to talk about, in which everything was halted. But we're back in full running here, and joining me now is Matt Torres. Matt with Miras Sports. And first of all, talk about the excitement as we get ready for the 18th annual.
Well, definitely this is one thing we look forward to every year. This is one of our biggest tournaments that we co-sponsor. We started doing the boys classic about 18 years ago. Then the girls liked what we were doing, so they jumped on, and we've been doing them for about 15 years. And usually we bring in about 40 high school UIO varsity teams, so high-level quality baseball, softball being played all weekend at the local surrounding schools and at Cabinets.
Talk about the growth of this. Myra or Sandy was telling me that the beginning of it there was about as many teams, so it wants to grow, but the quality of the teams keep coming in and getting better and better here.
It definitely wants to grow. We got more teams that want to come in, but we definitely have to limit because of the amount of fields that we have. Otherwise, if we had more fields, we definitely love to bring in more teams. But when we have that opportunity, now we pick and choose. Who gets to be in it. That's what allows great baseball around here.
Co-sponsor means that you're one of the people that are responsible, and when you put your name on something, it's even bigger to be a sponsor of that. Talk about Miras Sports More and their wanting to be a part of the community and putting something like this together.
Well, Miras Sports More is a local store that's been here since 1976. We've always strived to help the community. This tournament once was held by Whataburger Classic, but Whataburger did release it, and Miras took over because they are a community-based store. We like to give back to the community, and that was one way we can help out was helping the Coaches Association with this tournament.
Coaches come in and out this door all day. You never know who you're going to see, but I guarantee if you stick around in Miras long enough, you're going to see local athletes and coaches coming through these doors every day.
Yes, sir, all day long. That's one thing that helping these local schools. We are the face of the community, so they can come in and go when they need items, especially that day when they're short on something. They know they can come here and grab what they need and go right before the game.
Busiest time of the year is when?
High school baseball. High school baseball and softball starts early January, will end in April, and that's a nonstop season. And then we love it. It keeps us busy for the next 3 months.
How busy is it? He was scheduled to be our first guest. He was out on deliveries, and he becomes our mid-range guest here as we continue to move through this. Again, any final thoughts on getting ready for this one? The excitement level you've heard out in the community about this tournament versus others.
Oh, I love it. One thing everybody talks about is all the games. They do have a day pass where you can go to any baseball game you want. The schedule's out there. Pick and choose what games you want to see, but any game you go to is high-quality baseball. You're going to get what you want to see.
And another thing, we're going to be streaming the games on Real Sports Live, as many venues as we can get to. But you guys have a real good tracking system of promoting the stuff online. It's not just walk through the door at Miras. It's not just make a phone call. There's some online services available, and you promote this tournament as well. Talk about that a little bit.
We do have our social media, which is Miras Sports Team Sales on Facebook. And then we do have our shop.miras.com that you can go on there and click on our links. That will show you our schedules for all this weekend, and you pick and choose where you want to go.
It also allows you to take advantage of what Miras offers on the merchandise. You can also get your sales there.
Yes, on shop.miras.com we do have all our in-store inventory. where you can buy anything you want. You get to see our live inventory where it'll tell you exactly what we have in the store before you have to go and order it. Also, we are pre-selling this weekend's tournament shirt. We have the boys and the girls shirts for pre-sale here at the store, and then we'll be selling at the local fields.
And those are available. Here comes a shirt just right out of the crowd. Live, folks.
So this one right now is going to be the Bayfront Bass shirt. Has a Miras Classic on the front, and then has all the teams that are joining on the back. So before they run out, like they always do every year, come on in, pre-buy it, or buy it at the field.
Cost again?
So it'll be $10 from small through extra large, and $15 for 2X and 3X.
Come get them. Come get them. You're seeing it right now. Share the link on our social media. Let other fans know this is going on. And, the shirts are available, and they're being passed around to the various venues because it all starts tomorrow. The games start tomorrow, and these shirts, again, always every year sell out, right?
And the girls are ready to go. So if you want to come in and pre-buy your girls, these are ready. If you once we run out, you have to go to the local cabinets. The boys are currently being printed, so we'll have those later on this afternoon. But they will be ready to sell come tomorrow.
And they also have some hats available as well. Here comes a hat flying in. Good catch. We got it.
And then this year's Miras Classic baseball cap. We are showcasing our new leather patches that we are offering. These are $15, so these will sell out. I guarantee it.
All right, fans. Matt, anything else?
Oh, I love it. Come on and see me. I'll be at Cabinets where we'll have some good baseball going on.
All right, we'll be back with more as we continue with our live show from Miras Sports and More in Corpus Christi, Texas for the Miras Classic 2022 on Real Sports Live.
If you want to get in the game, come to Miras Sports and More. Basketball gloves and uniforms too, customized for you. Your family tradition, from generation to generation. From Pee Wee to the MLBs, you can count on us. Your hometown sporting goods store since '76. Miras Sports and More, where kids get cool stuff.
We are the Roy Taylor High School cheerleaders, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Lead has relationships with multiple industry leaders. Whether you're looking for project-based work or long-term employment, you decide. Our industry-skilled jobs include industrial, marine industries, oil and gas, commercial construction, and renewable energy. We offer work close to home, so you can spend more time with those you love. Lead staffing, putting people to work and changing lives daily.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. Memories made all day. Live music and great food round out your visit. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
Uniforms, etc., you're going to find the opportunity to purchase the best high quality scrubs. Soon after I learned about how the EDC was helping out the community, and so I did meet with Ms. Castillo. She made it very easy, very friendly, and she walked me every step of the way. I couldn't have done it without their help.
We are the Roy Taylor High School cheerleaders, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
There is a feeling you get when you walk onto a campus.
A sense of love, compassion, and dedication.
An environment that inspires each of our HCISD family members
to do their best and to be their best.
We ground our education on strong character And together, we will always persist towards the future.
We are a district of choice.
A district of innovation.
And a district of excellence.
We are HCISD.
If you wanna get in the game, come to Miras Sports and more. Basketball gloves and uniforms too, customized for you. Your family tradition, from generation to generation. From Pee Wee to the MLBs, you can count on us. Your hometown sporting goods store since '76. Miras Sports and more, where kids get cool stuff.
Back here to the Miras preview show, coming to you from Miras Sports and More in Corpus Christi. We have coach number 4 of the Fabulous Five from Corpus, a friend of mine, David Marcello. How you doing?
Awesome. Glad to be here. Thanks for having us.
Now, Coach, first of all, you started off district with a big win against Gregory Portland 8-1. That's a statement made heading into district in 2022. And, Coach, we actually met last year at the area round with Barnesville Porter, and it was a longer than expected day. We were supposed to have a 2 o'clock first pitch, and we started off at 6 in the afternoon.
Yeah, that was pretty wild that day. We got in that charter early, and driving down, the weather was coming in as we were driving down, and we were trying to wait it out, and then trying to find a field, and ended up at La Villa. So, yeah, a long day, but well worth it when we got that dub. So it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a crazy day. I know we were trying to figure out how we were going to play it at Porter, and you were telling me, where's the team at? Oh, they're inside the gym playing wiffle ball or something. Anyways, Coach, talking about 2021, you guys finished off 22-15 and 1 overall, 8-8 district, squeezing in again. When you're in a district like 29-5, which is, I've said before, and I'll say it again, the most competitive district for Texas high school baseball, got Carroll, King, Vets, Moody, Ray, Flower Bluff, GP, and you guys squeezed in. So what's just your thoughts when you hit the postseason last year?
Well, I mean, it was rough. Like everybody knows, it's a gauntlet down here, and the competition is at such a high level. And we started off really slow. That'd be an understatement, at 0-6. Then we ripped off, I think, 7 straight to get us in that mix. But we, faced a lot of adversity and injuries last year. And when those guys came back, they gelled at the right time, and we got hot at the right time. And we felt really confident going to the playoffs that we had enough pitching depth and a lineup depth to, win at least a round or two. And we got done. We got to get done. Got a lot of experience for our younger guys who are back this year, and that's been a beneficial part for us. So it was a great experience to be, wearing that Carroll blue and getting that third round of the playoffs. But, now we got that taste. We want to go a little deeper this year if possible.
Yeah, that was a great season for y'all. Commercially, y'all finished off in the regional quarterfinal, lost to Gregory Portland. So what was just some key takeaways from 2021 and some major lessons learned?
I think the biggest thing was we got to play a lot of our younger guys early in the season when we had injuries and depth issues. So a lot of guys got experience that they may not have gotten at that level, and they could understood that they can, handle themselves at this level. And if you can come mentally prepared day in and day out, you give yourself a really good chance of winning. And they saw that, the hard work, the perseverance, and the consistency of your daily effort, pays dividends.
Now, what was just out of very lengthy 2021 was just the main lesson learned that you're going to take with y'all to 2022?
Just stay true to yourself and what we do as a Carroll Tiger program, and just keep coming to work every day with the right attitude and just get better every day.
Well, you guys have obviously put off 2021 behind you. You guys are 3-1 overall in the season, 2-0 already in district play. That's making a statement, and you get back a loss against Gregory Portland, a team who knocked you guys out in the postseason last year. So just talk about how has district been running for y'all, or just the season has been running for y'all so far.
Like I said, it was good to come out that first game. It's tough in this district when your first game of the year is a district game, but it was good to go on the road in Victoria and get that win first night out. Went to the Georgetown tournament and, got frozen out and rained out, so we played 2 out of 5 games, which, were good quality at that point, but we didn't get a full slate in. And then coming back last night and get that win against GP, that's a big win for us because, again, last year we started off so slow, so it's a much better vibe and a feel to come back and get the first 2 this year. Doesn't guarantee anything, but it puts you in a good spot, feeling good about yourself so far.
Yeah, now let's talk about the Miras Classic again. Obviously, the beauty of these tournaments, it gives you a chance to see teams from all over the state. I mean, you got Del Rio, Cedar Park is a potential playoff preview team right here. We got 6A Talent, again, one of the district champions actually in that same pool with Moody and Laredo United South. But I want to know who made Pool A, because the first game y'all are taking on is Corpus Christi Kings. So it's 2 times you're facing them normally. Now you're going to face them 3 times here. So what are just your thoughts on Pool A and getting to start off against Corpus Christi? I know Romero right now has a great program over there.
Well, anytime you're going to play the local teams, the kids all know each other so well, and it's such a, I guess almost like family feel when you play each other because these guys are so familiar with it. But this tournament here, it's always been a great tournament, and every year we've done it. Sandy does a great job. Miras does a great job. The Corpus Christi Coach Association does a great job. Competition level is going to be there. So, yeah, you prefer not to play a district team in the tournament, but it is a chance to get your guys some reps outside of district competition to see who can, perform at this level. And that's what's good about this tournament is because every team is a quality team. So you're going to find out what your role players can do in these situations.
Yeah, you just said it yourself. Again, tournaments are always a beauty because you get two things when you get to see what the talent's like across the state on teams you might be facing off in the postseason or may not. It also gives you a chance to see where you're at until you test out the kids, find out who's going to be the cream of the crop, who's going to be your go-to guys heading down towards district. So talking about district here, I mean, you just said it's a gauntlet. Coach Yeager said earlier he likes to call it Murderer's Row because all the firepower in this district. But just talks about what are your expectations heading into 29-5A play. Obviously, you guys are already off to a hot start.
Yeah, there are no gimmies. There's no mental breaks in this schedule. You've got to show up every Tuesday, Friday with your A game, or else you're going to find yourself in a bad position. So if you don't put the work in on your practice days, and like I said, practice is for us as coaches to get our guys ready to go, and the game nights are the guys. They're going to go out, they're going to execute the game plan and do what they do. And, if you've done it right leading up to Tuesday or Friday night, you should come out on the right side of the ledger. And that's just what we focus on the daily is you just take care of your work and then play the game. It's not who you play, it's the game you're playing against. And if you can play a clean game, you got a good shot.
Again, Coach, the winner of this whole tournament, the final games will be at Waterburger Field on Saturday. You guys, no stranger at playing at Waterburger Field. I remember you were telling me that you guys have sold out games between Moody and Carroll and Ray, and just it's an awesome feeling to be playing at Waterburger Field. Now, talk us through this tournament here. Some of your returning players, you got Nick Matrudas. I got to see him in that area round against Porter. We got Easton Hewitt, Chris Chavez, and Dave Palomo, So how do you feel like they've just emerged as just grown as players over the past few years?
I mean, it's been wonderful to watch these guys. Nick, my first year he was a sophomore, and he was kind of like another guy that was, trying to find his way. And then, we got some opportunities, and he took full advantage of it. Now he's a senior, and he's a great leader of our pitching staff. Easton and Chris Chavez, they started as freshmen, and they've really grown and matured into players that you can count on, and the guys that show the younger guys what we do here at Carroll. And then Dave Palomo started as a freshman last year, sophomore now. He is really the backbone of this group, but he's got no problem getting on some guys when he thinks that we're not doing what we need to do at practice. So we've got some leadership that's really, really coming along. It's great to see. We've got some other guys that have been role players in the past that now are taking on some starting roles that are doing good things for us. So it's been really fun to be around these guys.
Now, of course, out of all these names, you have a lot of heavy hitters on this Carroll Tigers squad. But who do you feel has emerged as the leader, the go-to guy everyone looks up to on the field?
I mean, that's a tough one because, like I said, we've got our different segments. The outfield, Chris Chavez, he's our center fielder now. He waited 2 years behind Gilbert Gonzalez, to move into that center field role. He'd been starting in left field, so he pretty much controls that outfield group when we break off into our sessions. He runs it, and the kids follow him, and he's a great communicator. Easton Hewitt in the infield, he's shifted from third to short, so he's been a good example of really putting the work in and not taking anything for granted. Like I said, he's moving to a new position this year, so it's been a lot of work on his part. I already told you, Nick does a great job. And we got a couple transfers in from John Paul that are seniors that really added to our mix and at a senior level who help show what it means to put work in consistently. So all of our kids, I wouldn't say there's one guy in particular because we're such a tight-knit group, but these guys kind of gravitate to maybe positional, who they like to follow. But like I said, I'm just happy with how we are as a team, and that's what I like to see.
Now, for all you Carroll Tiger fans, they'll be in action. They'll be taking things off on Thursday. They'll take on King. So, again, I don't know who made that turn, but they're all genius here to get a little preview of what to expect down the world. Then they have, in Pool A, we have Burleson Centennial out of the North Texas region, Conroe North Side now. So just any final info you'd like to give out to any fans watching?
Hey, just come on out to any game you're going to see in this tournament. Is a well-played game against quality opponents. So, obviously I want to see all that Carroll Tiger blue out there. You're going crazy for the Carroll Tigers, but you can't go wrong watching a game here and this weekend because you got some serious quality teams. You got some great coaches that are going to be, running their program and showcasing their teams. And again, on top of it, Sandy and Miras does a great job of it, and they do. The store is awesome. Come on down, and you can get pretty much anything you want down here.
Awesome. That's Coach David Marcel, the Corpus Christi Carroll Tigers. Coach, good luck in the tournament. Good luck on the season through. Thank you. Back more after this. You're watching Real Sports Live.
Lead has relationships with multiple industry leaders. Whether you're looking for project-based work or long-term employment, you decide. Our industry-skilled jobs include industrial, marine industries, oil and gas, commercial construction, and renewable energy. We offer work close to home, so you can spend more time with those you love. Lead Staffing, putting people to work and changing lives daily.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. Memories made all day. Live music and great food round out your visit. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
Uniforms, etc., you're going to find the opportunity to purchase the best high quality scrubs. Soon after I learned about how the EDC was helping out the community, and so I did meet with Ms. Castillo. She made it very easy, very friendly, and she walked me every step of the way. I couldn't have done it without their help.
We are the Roy Taylor High School cheerleaders, and you're watching Real Sports Live!
Back here at the Miras Sports Preview Show. Again, Miras Tournament, the 8th installment of this classic tournament coming to you now once again. Here we go back down the Pool B, and we go to the 4A level, 26-4A with the Miller Bucks head coach Wade McDaniel. How you doing?
Doing pretty good today.
Now,
sunlight's good outside. I'm enjoying that. Oh, sorry. Got some sunlight outside, so I'm real happy about that right now.
Yeah, Coach. Okay, so coming off now, we have a Miller alum right here, Joe Gomez.
Everybody's Miller alum these days. I hear it all the time. Once a buck, always a buck.
I would bring him on here, but I know we're going to talk about for 4 or 5 hours in this one. Anyways, Coach, unfortunately, 8-20 overall in 2021-16, not the season you guys planned to have. What was just some key takeaways from 2021?
I mean, it was a learning year for us. We had a lot of older kids, but still not a lot of kids with experience. So that was one of the big deals, just trying to get many of our younger kids as much playing time as we could to get them ready for this year.
Now, 2022 start, you guys played one game, correct, so far?
Yeah, we've only played one game thanks to the weather. We lost 8-7 on Monday night up at Stockdale. And again, too, we're real young. That's good and bad, I guess. We have, I think we counted up, there was, of the starting 10 at the game the other day, we had 7 that were first-time varsity players. So, a lot of youth. Just trying to get them ready and go from there. But our pitching was real strong the other day. I think that's going to be one of our stronger aspects most of the year. So that'll help us kind of get through from there.
Now talk about, once again, 26-4A. You're in a powerhouse district in the 4A level. We got teams like Sinton. Obviously, Sinton, one of the premier teams in the state of Texas. So, again, coming back from 2021, what's just the one major lesson learned in 2021?
Just how to compete with those guys. These are some real strong teams. There was just with Sinton and Rockport alone, and none of the others are slouches after that. But those two, they return a lot of kids. They hit the ball well. They pitch really well. I mean, it's crazy. Sinton's got kids that don't have to throw a whole lot for them until later in the year because they just have so much to choose from. But we always have fun playing those type of teams. Anything that you can see that kind of caliber team. It's good for the young kids to see all that too. So,
we talked about your Pool B competition. You're put in with 29 5As. Moody Trojans, you're being put in a ringer in a sense because Moody, of course, not having the best of starts. Again, we just had Joe Carrillo earlier a few moments ago. Laredo United South, the 36A district champ, and then you got San Antonio Stevens out of 29 6A. So in a sense, being put through the ringer, but that's also a little bit of a blessing in disguise because it gives you a sense of, okay, is this how we can compete? More so what we're dealing out and bringing out to the table.
Oh, yeah. No, we'll get to see some good teams, get to see some good pitching. and I'm always been a firm believer. You know, I guess the way districts work this year is just trying to find non-district games has been tough. But just anytime we can play some teams that, you know, bigger schools, that we're going to see some better pitching. It's always going to be an advantage to help us later in the year. I mean, we're trying to fill our schedule with a lot of teams like this. I mean, we go through the tournament this week, and then we head out Monday to go down to Sherryland, which is one of the better 5As around as well, with a lot of strong pitching. So, I mean, we want to see as best as we can. I mean, that's our whole thing we're trying to get done.
That's this weekend. This week, right? Next week, you got Sherryland next Monday?
Next Monday, we go to Sherryland.
You Valley baseball fans? Coastal Bend versus the Valley. A lot of people always love when those two areas.
Oh, yeah. And that's a cool game to go play, too, because when I was in the Valley at Pioneer, the head coach there was one of my assistants. So it's kind of a cool deal to go play against some guys that work for you, or, you know, that you work for all the time. So it's just something a little extra to have a little fun with.
Little homecoming in a sense for you, going back down to Sherryland now, Coach. A few more questions here again. 26-4A. We are full in a district full of powerhouses in the Coastal Bend region. But let's talk about some of your key returning players. You got Damian Gutierrez, Evan Carter, Roland Baron, and Jaden Brown all returning back into the mix. So how do you feel like they've developed as leaders throughout the season?
I mean, they've all grown up. The Roland Baron, along with his brother Robert, have both grown into, you know, leaders, and they're the ones that came through the other night hitting the ball real well. Roland surprises some people behind the plate because he's real quick with getting the ball out. I think he's thrown 2 to 3 guys out every one of our scrimmages so far. He's been real good doing that and grown up a ton. I can't say enough about Jaden. Jaden's grown up so much. We didn't play with him on Monday because of the basketball game. He's been scrimmaging with us. Me and Coach Bastian worked out some deals on that, so he's been out there to be with us. Not having him Monday made a huge difference, just because his defensive presence is amazing. And then just having Devin out there. Devin's done all kind of wonderful stuff for us, and he can move around and play multiple positions. So it's been real good for us so far.
Okay, and basketball fans, Miller Bucks hitting that big win against Houston Stafford Monday night. So congratulations to the Miller Buck program over there for all you watching again, Coach. So that's also the beauty of these tournaments. You see now you see where everyone is in a sense. It gives you more idea. Okay, who am I going to play where? How's everyone to make it? Mm-hmm. Pretty much you find the cream of the crop in a sense, and also you get experience playing big names around the state of Texas.
Anytime we can play the bigger schools, it's just to get those kids out there against that our kids really don't have the concept of bigger schools, smaller schools. They just want to play ball. So it'll be real good for us. So once just to see some of the competition we're going to see out there this weekend, it'll be fun and be good for everybody.
Now, out of your key players, who do you feel like has emerged as the go-to leader, like the guy everyone looks up to on the field?
Well, actually, one of the kids that didn't have a very good year last year because he was out a ton with school, Arturo Alonso's probably our go-to guy. He's probably our best guy on the hump right now. When he's not doing that, he's playing third, and he's the one that runs the show. He's, you know, takes care of business. He's one of our seniors. He's hitting the ball well. He's doing everything he needs to do right now.
Now, before we go, Coach Marcelo was telling me you got some pretty good one-liners going on. So, can he dish out anyone for us right now, for all the fans watching?
I don't know what he's talking about. We have a lot of history from back in the day. I don't know anything. Any of my one-liners I threw at him, I don't know. That's way in the past. I don't know. I don't have that memory anymore. I'm not as young as I used to be.
All right, folks, for all you Miller baseball fans, they'll be taking on Corpus Christi Moody at Cabinets at 10 a.m. And they also have a match against San Antonio Stevens at 2:30. We're looking here through the schedule. And, folks, once again, taking on Pool B and Moody Trojans, Laredo United South, and San Antonio Stevens. Now, any final words, Coach McDaniel?
Nah, just come out and support those Bucks. Once a buck, always a buck.
Awesome, folks. Wade McDaniel, Miller Buccaneers. Coach, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Back more with this.
There is a feeling you get when you walk onto a campus.
A sense of love, compassion, and dedication.
An environment that inspires each of our HCISD family members
to do their best and to be their best.
We ground our education on strong character, and together, we will always persist towards the future.
We are a district of choice.
A district of innovation.
And a district of excellence.
We are HCISD.
If you want to get in the game, come to Miras Sports and More. Basketball gloves and uniforms too, customized Your hometown sporting goods store since 76. Miras Sports and More, where kids get cool stuff.
Back here on Rio Sports Live, our live coverage coming to you from Miras Sports and More in Corpus Christi, Texas. We've been talking with baseball coaches and softball coaches. We got another softball coach alongside right now, Jennifer Moffitt Garcia from Corpus Christi Miller. As again, we go back and forth. All those baseball coaches get all their time in. There's some good softball here, Coach. Let's talk about what your excitement level is getting into this one.
I'm really excited about this upcoming tournament. My team, we're young. We've been hungry and rebuilding this year for the past couple of years. And so we're going to face some good competition in this tournament this weekend. So I'm really excited to see exactly where we're at and how we compete with those well-established programs.
Anytime I see a coach and they talk about a younger squad and I see the list of teams that potentially you're going to play in this one, you grow up fast.
Yes, sir, and that's what I'm kind of looking at, and that's one thing we've been priming our kids, and even the way that I set up the schedule was to kind of go on an uphill train, and we've been talking about that train continuously going up the tracks. And so as we've talked about preparing for this tournament, it's our last true test because we start district on Tuesday after this tournament. So I said we're going to get a real tough gauge of where we're at, and some of these teams that we're playing in this tournament, excuse me, are comparable to the top teams, upper level teams in our district, so we can really get a feel and what we need to work on off of this tournament.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. When you're approaching your last tournament prior to getting into the grind, is this the opportunity as a coach to say there's a couple players I really want to put in positions and see how they react, or is this more, I think I've got something established here. Let's see if I just put them into the long run. Which approach there?
Well, right now, going into our approach this weekend, we've been messing with a couple different lineups, switching out catchers and our middle infield and seeing where we're at. And so going into this tournament where we're going to be facing a lot of speed, a lot of great hitters, kind of seeing exactly where we're at. I'm also going to get a few kids some different mound time this weekend and kind of see how they react in that situation because they are a good offset to what my number 1 and 2 pitchers have. So if we get in a grind during the course of the season in a district game, is this something that would work to throw the batters off speed if we need to slow it down?
Coach, you don't know how glad I am to hear you call it mound time because my fellow announcers give me grief every time I'm talking about who's on the mound. They say, it's a circle, it's a circle. I'm like, it's a mound.
It's a mound. It's a mound.
They're pitching off a rubber that's elevated, okay? It's a mound. So good stuff. Talk about your season thus far. Talk about the teams you've played and how that's helped you get ready for this.
So far on the season, we're 10-3 going through into this tournament. We participated in the Odom tournament, played some good teams over there, battled through. We had a couple of comeback wins, so that was good to see that our kids continuously fought. And we won first place in that tournament. And then we played in the Ingleside tournament this past weekend, and it was good to see Ingleside out there. We didn't play them, but they're in our district, so kind of see what they have. Faced some good pitching out there. Faced a tough Alice team as well over there, and we ended up getting second place in that tournament. We played Robstown Monday night, ended up losing that game, but it was good to see they have a real good young freshman pitcher and teams that their kids can hit the ball. So right now, I told the kids the record really doesn't matter. What I want to see is the improvements going into district play, because once we know that that's what the season's about, is going through the grind of district play.
Talk about the difference in tournaments. This one, guaranteed games, no time limit, versus those tournaments in which there's time limits. I've talked to coaches who say, I actually have to figure out a different strategy altogether. So how important is it that this final tune-up is all regular games, not timed, play them out?
I like that because it is, you get into district play and it's 7 innings. One of the tournaments that we were in last weekend and some of the changes due to the weather, we had an hour time limit. So it really puts you, from the get-go, you only get 2 to 3 innings in an hour time limit. So it totally changes the way that you coach. I was even in a tournament that it was drop dead time. So it's like you want to be visitors every single time because you get more at bats. So I like the final tune-up of being regular games because that's what you're going to be playing from here on out.
Yeah, I've talked to coaches who are like that. They're like, you either go uber aggressive on a time game, or you go conservative, especially if you get a run and you're on top at any given inning. You can control the pace, and it's not all about pitching, hitting. It's about time management, and that's totally different. But here, 6 games, all guaranteed in 3 days, and a final tune-up for districts. 10-3. Where you expected to be? Further along than you hoped to be, or still more work that you'd like to see when you looked at this from a preseason perspective 13 games ago?
Definitely still more work to be. I'm one of those coaches, I'm never complacent, and I don't want my kids to be complacent. It's been a sweet start, especially, like I said, Miller's been a rebuilding project. Haven't had a winning record in I don't even know how many years, haven't made the playoffs since 2000. So that's kind of been one of our goals, is this team to break the curse. I'm happy with being 10-3, but I'm not settling by any stretch of the imagination. And every game I tell my kids something that we need to focus on and work on and to get better. So when we face the gauntlet of our district season, we're ready to go.
I was going to say, anyone in your district is going to perhaps look at a record and say, we need to be at 10-3 or 11-2, just because of the fact that our district play is going to have some L's in there if you're not careful. You can play some really good softball and still come out of the district play with some losses.
Correct, and we got Sinton, Rockport, Beeville, Port Lavaca. Our district is a grind. You got Ingleside in there. Our district is a grind, and that's why I want to keep working on getting better and to end this playoff curse for the Miller community.
Final question regarding your approach in this tournament for pitching. One pitcher, go with her start to finish, or are you now in the trend of coaches of developing even to the point of, I've got a closer that I'm working on to come in for those late innings?
Well, my pitching is going to have to change up a little bit because my number 2 pitcher is out for this tournament.
Oh.
So we're actually going to pitch our number 3 and 4s this tournament, and I already told them that they're going to get some mound time. And so we're going to kind of see how the game goes on. I kind of want to see my starting pitchers battle through adversity and see how they react. But at the same time, if team is really honest, and I want to bring in my 3 and 4 and have that switch up. And hopefully it'll be a change of pace to keep them off balance.
Had a coach once tell me 3s and 4s become 1s and 2s through experience.
Exactly.
And this is what we get.
Exactly, and that's what I told him. This is the opportunity for you to gain that experience, and we're not going to shy away from it. We're going to face adversity throughout the whole course of the season, and I said I want y'all to rise to that occasion. So 2 freshmen are going to end up taking the mound for me this weekend, so we're going to see where they're at against some good competition. So I'm excited to see it.
Having fun this year, Coach?
I'm having a lot of fun, and I have a great group of kids, so it makes it a lot better.
Thanks for the visit.
Thank you for having me.
Coach Jennifer Moffitt-Garcia for the Miller Bucks, 10-3, heading into this tournament. We'll see how they do. This is the Miras Sports Classic. We're live here at Miras Sports and More in Corpus Christi, Texas. We'll be back with more on Rio Sports Live.
Lead has relationships with multiple industry leaders. Whether you're looking for project-based work or long-term employment, you decide. Our industry-skilled jobs include industrial, marine industries, oil and gas, commercial construction, and renewable energy. We offer work close to home, so you can spend more time with those you love. Lead Staffing, putting people to work and changing lives daily.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. Memories made all day. Live music and great food round out your visit. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
Uniforms, etc., you're gonna find the opportunity to purchase the best high quality scrubs. Soon after I learned about how the EDC was helping out the community, and so I did meet with Ms. Castillo. She made it very easy, very friendly, and she walked me every step of the way. I couldn't have done it without their help.
We are the Roy Miller High School cheerleaders, and you're watching Real Sports Live!
There is a feeling you get when you walk onto a campus.
A sense of love, compassion, and dedication.
An environment that inspires each of our HCISD family members
to do their best and to be their best.
We ground our education on strong character, and together, we will always persist towards the future.
We are a district of choice.
A district of innovation.
And a district of excellence.
We are HCISD.
If you wanna get in the game, come to Miras Sports and more. Basketball gloves and uniforms too, customized for you. Your family tradition, from generation to generation. From Pee Wee to the MLBs, you can count on us. Your hometown sporting goods store since '76. Miras Sports and more, where kids get cool stuff.
We are the Roy Miller High School cheerleaders, and you're watching Real Sports Live!
Lead has relationships with multiple industry leaders. Whether you're looking for project-based work or long-term employment, you decide. Our industry-skilled jobs include industrial, marine industries, oil and gas, commercial construction, and renewable energy. We offer work close to home, so you can spend more time with those you love. Lead staffing, putting people to work and changing lives daily.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. Memories made all day. Live music and great food round out your visit. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
Back here at our Miras Sports and More in Corpus Christi, we continue with our preview show of the Miras Sports Classic. It's the 18th Miras Sports Classic, by the way, as it gets started tomorrow morning on a Thursday morning. Softball and baseball. We've been talking with baseball coaches, softball coaches. Now AJ Caballero with Carol joins us on the softball side. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Let's talk about your team coming into this tournament. Prior to talking about the tournament, how's the season going? Where you at?
It's going. We are a young team this year. Last year we graduated 6 starters. So having some new faces out on the field, new faces in the program. Young, inexperienced, but you're trying to hold our own.
And that's what these preseason tournaments are all about. Pre-district tournaments are all about. So when you talk about getting 6 games in 3 days leading into district play, talk about the importance of that for a young team.
It's very important. The reps are great for our girls. Getting to know each other, I guess, on the field, and then of course the quality of teams that we have in the tournament will really help us, as we get into our district games. So looking forward to the games this weekend. We've got a great schedule, so it'll definitely help prepare us for next Tuesday when we jump right back in district.
I looked up and down this lineup of teams that are signed up to play in this thing, and let's talk about yours. Who do you get tomorrow?
We get Medina Valley. That'll be our first game of the day, and then we have London.
Medina Valley. Any coach will tell you I'm after the first game, and then we'll talk about the second game after that.
Let's get through game number 1.
Yeah, Medina Valley. Again, with the young squad you knew going in, this is going to be a work in progress. So how do your girls react to that when they know? I'm looking around. I'm not used to seeing who's here. 6 seniors are gone. They were there. We're the ones that carry the team. Well, guess what? Someone here is going to carry the team. So talk about how that works.
I've had some good. I've had leaders step up that are back from last year's roster. They've done a good job in filling those roles so far. As far as the young ones, we're getting their feet wet, kind of throwing them in the fire, and they're figuring out things as we go along. But it has definitely been an adjustment from last year to this year, and we just have to keep in mind that it's a new team, different DNA, yet at the same time we still have the same goals, same aspirations that we've had in years before.
Many coaches I talk to look at it as the opportunity speaking, that you look around at players and legitimately tell them, there's a spot here and you can start if you want this spot. And it puts more on the players, that they can actually earn something, and all you have to do is go out and do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Well, Coach, thanks for the visit, and good luck in the tournament.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
We'll be back with more. By the way, the hats you see on the table, the shirt you see on the right-hand side, pre-orders taking right now here at Miras Sports and More. These hats will sell out, I guarantee you, before this tournament's over. Shirts as well. Shirts for sale $10 all the way up through extra large, and $15 for beyond that. Just a little promo here at Miras Sports and More. We'll be back with more after this.
Uniforms, etc., you're going to find the opportunity to purchase the best high-quality scrubs. Soon after I learned about how the EDC was helping out the community, and so I did meet with Ms. Castillo. She made it very easy, very friendly, and she walked me every step of the way. I couldn't have done it without their help.
We are the Roy Miller High School cheerleaders, and you're watching Real Sports Live!
There is a feeling you get when you walk onto a campus.
A sense of love, compassion, and dedication.
An environment that inspires each of our HCISD family members
to do their best and to be their best.
We ground our education on strong character, and together, we will always persist towards the future.
We are a district of choice.
A district of innovation.
And a district of excellence.
We are HCISD.
If you want to get in the game, come to Miras Sports and More. Basketball gloves and uniforms too, customized for you. Your family tradition, from generation to generation. From Pee Wee to the MLBs, you can count on us. Your hometown sporting goods store since '76. Miras Sports and More, where kids get cool stuff.
Back here on Real Sports Live, we're at Miras Sports and More in Corpus Christi, Texas, as we're going to wrap up this show. I want to remind you that our broadcast will be coming your way here throughout the Miras Sports Classic, and if we had more advertisers, we would be able to hit more fields. We're going to be primarily at Cabinets on the baseball and the softball side of things. Some of the sponsors that are assisting us in broadcasting our games for the Miras Sports Classic is the Wizard of Cars, also Johnny Luna, Auto Nation, South Corpus Christi, the Heil Law Firm, and Melanie Davis at Wetson Auto out of Robstown. That's just some of the sponsors that are assisting us. I say it all the time. It's not that we don't have games that we could cover. There's tons of them. It's the fact that when my wife Dahlia and I started this, we would do games, and we didn't have to worry about paying each other. We just looked at each other and said it's time to do another game. But when I started bringing other people on, their livelihood depended on making some money at doing this and taking their time away, and therefore the sponsorship became uber important, especially when you're not charging fans to watch the games, you're not charging schools to broadcast the games. And so the sponsors I often say that when you see the commercials running here on Real Sports Live, at the very least, if you're a fan watching anything we're doing, at the very least, take note of who these sponsors are, call them, and say thank you for being a part of what we're doing and allowing us to do the coverage we do. At Corpus Christi alone, again, there's 5 different venues that we could have 5 different crews at if I had the funding in place from advertising. So, again, it's a promotion on the shirts and hats is one thing. Promotion on what we need to keep doing what we're doing at the level that could be done. We're still doing this with 1.5 hands tied behind our back and still pulling off what we can to get as many games covered as we can. Again, it all starts tomorrow. Ruben, let's start on the baseball side first. A busy day from Cabinets with some blockbuster games.
Oh yeah, I hope you're excited for baseball because we got a big one. If you're not awake, you'll be fully awake after watching this one. We got Moody taking on Miller at 10 a.m. Following that one, we have Corpus Christi King taking on Corpus Christi Carroll, the 29-5A district battle. A little treat for a district preview, of course. You know, we got Carroll taking on Ray at Whataburger Field, but that's later on down the road. 2:30 p.m., the Carroll Tigers play a doubleheader. They'll be taking on Conroe North Side. Then at 4:45, San Antonio Harlan. The Falcons come in down to take on the PSJ North Raiders. That's going to be a good one here at 4:45. And then at 7 p.m., we have Ray taking on Cedar Park. And that's going to be kind of a main event match because, again, Ray, ranked number 7 in the state of Texas, taking on Cedar Park. And that's a team that has also made some statements in the postseason. That's a potential playoff preview. We could see them one down the line.
And that's a blockbuster day 1 at Cabinets Field for the Miras Sports Classic on the baseball side. On the softball side of things, 5 games lined up, beginning with Tuleso Midway against Austin Westlake, followed by a 12:30 game with Flower Bluff takes on Harlingen South. Then Miller on the field for back-to-back games as the Miller Lady Bucks will take on Westlake at 2:15, and then Harlingen South at 4 o'clock. We wrap up day 1 coverage from Cabinets on the softball field with West Oso taking on Medina Valley. Again, everything leads to a Saturday. Big games, 3 of them, 3 big games on Saturday at Whataburger Field on the baseball side. Softball, everything's guaranteed. Each team will be playing 6 games. We'll be broadcasting as many as we can from Cabinets. But again, everything leading towards Whataburger Field. You'll be in the Valley for a couple of games. And by the time you get to Whataburger, a lot of games will be played and a lot of excitement for those final 3 games on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a fun weekend of baseball. Again, like Chuck Morgan says for the Rangers, it's baseball time in Texas. Bring on. I'm excited. I'm ready. And it's just going to be a fun weekend for baseball softball here at the Miras Sports and More Classic, 18th installment of this great tournament.
Our appreciation to Miras Sports and More for hosting this coaches show here and for assisting us in getting the coaches lined up. Joe Gomez on the backside of things, making sure that sponsors are in place for us to cover these games. If you're wanting to be a sponsor on Real Sports Live, please reach out to Joe Gomez. He posts often on our broadcast that you can reach out to him, and we have packages for any business, any size, that will be able to assist you in getting your word out to the multitude of fans that are tuning in to our broadcasts on a regular basis. One last plug, and that is our showcase on South Padre Island. Is coming April 22nd through the 24th. Basketball showcase, and it's going to be good. We're going to start with a banquet on the 22nd in South Padre Island, and we'll be awarding some of the top players, some of the top teams, some of the top games. There's various awards at a banquet with some special guest speakers on April 22nd at South Padre Island in the Valley. And then we'll follow that up on the 23rd on a Saturday when we bring in the teams. And we're picking the best top 15 boys and top 15 girls on the basketball side that we can bring out of the Coastal Bend. The best 15 boys and girls out of the area outside the Coastal Bend into the Laredo area, and then we'll pick out the top 15 boys and girls for 2 different teams in the RGV. Play games on Saturday to decide who's going to play in a championship on Sunday, and it'll be the first ever Real Sports Live bragging trophy that'll be handed out. Will it go to the Coastal Bend? Will it go to the Laredo area? Will it go to the RGV? It'll all be decided April 22nd through the 24th. Keep watching our social media and our website for more information on that. The Real Sports Live South Texas area regional showcase stars on South Padre Island. Hope you enjoyed this broadcast. You can go back and watch it again. Some of these coaches had a lot to say about what's coming up and a lot of excitement as we lead into this tournament. Ruben, great job here. Joe on the backside flipping the dials, spinning the wheels, and punching the buttons to make sure the commercials get in place. Till next time, I'm Joe Bowling. So long.
Lead has relationships with multiple industry leaders